Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today I wanted to do a video on the Remarkable 2. So this product actually caught me a little bit by surprise because I actually was never going to buy this thing. I actually heard about the Remarkable 2 only a few months ago actually, and for those of you guys who haven't heard of it either, it's basically an e-ink tablet where it's a writing device. It's like a digital notebook. And I thought about it because I knew I could use it for the channel and for work and stuff like that, but I thought about it more and I was like, hey, I have an iPad. I could just use an Apple Pencil. Like, isn't that basically the same thing? So I had other things I wanted to purchase, so I kind of left it alone. That was last year and never actually thought about it again. Until recently, where I had an opportunity to try one, which is where this is coming from my job, for testing at my job and stuff like that for other people. And I actually got to get my hands on one to see, hey, what's this thing actually about? So now that I've had my hands on it, comparing it to my iPad and my Apple Pencil and stuff like that, I wanted to talk to you guys about it, let you guys know what I think. Let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming tech is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so here we are with the Remarkable 2. So first let me give you an overview. So you can see exactly how thin this device is. I mean, look at how sleek and nicely designed the Remarkable 2 is. It's got this nice little border here that kind of makes it look like a notebook here in gray. And then the back has the Remarkable logo, just like that. And then of course I have the magnetic pen that I have. This is the standard edition pen. They do make another one that has an eraser on the top, but this is the standard edition and kind of just magnetizes right there to the actual side here. Now, what we got to talk about first is just kind of some of the features of the interface that this thing has here. If I go back here to my files, you can see this is where I have everything organized. And I kind of really have grown to really like the organization. Even though it's really simple, I really do like how elegant everything looks on here with the clear text and just the e-ink display that this thing uses. You can see here, I have all of these different folders that I created, like books, video games, budget, work, Disney Travel Agent. For those of you guys who don't know, I became a Disney Travel Agent. If you guys want to look at that down below. YouTube, house stuff, all that kind of stuff, I have organized. So then I also have quick notes right here. So anything that if I create a quick sheet, it goes right here. And then I can create quick sheets to kind of reference things quickly that I want to jot down for whatever reason. And then I can obviously just open things up, you know, for YouTube and stuff. I have things written right here, for example. And then I have two notebooks in there because that's what these are. These are considered full-on notebooks. So if you create a notebook, it has a bunch of different pages. So it shows you all the different things that, you know, I have in here. And I created weekly plans, weekly YouTube video ideas, and I write them down on here and stuff like that to be able to do it. And then you also have the ability, of course, if I go into the video game category, you can create folders within folders. So even though I have a video game folder, now I've created more folders. Now I have future buys. So I remember video games that I want to buy in the future. Local co-op games, video game categories, some retro PC notes that I have written down here as a notebook. You know, stuff like that you can kind of do. So I'm really, really happy with the way that the interface actually looks on here. And yeah, I'm really happy with it overall. That's essentially how most of that integration actually works. Now, of course, one of the main things on here is the fact that you can actually write, and that's one of the big things. So if I just create a quick sheet on here and this opens the page up, and this is something I obviously can't really show in a video too well, but when you're writing on here, it just looks super, super good. I love the way the text looks. And the writing on here literally feels like I'm writing on paper. Not only does it look really, really good, but the way that this actually writes is just fantastic. I really feel like I'm writing on a piece of paper right now. And looking at the screen makes me feel like I'm writing on a notebook or a sheet of paper. It just, the feeling is just crazy. I didn't think it was going to be a big deal as somebody who owns the iPad and the iPad Pencil, but this is way, way better than anything you could do with an iPad Pencil on a piece of glass. This is way different and way better. And then, of course, you got all these different tools on the side. You can see you have a ballpoint pen, marker, pencil. You know, so if you write with a pen, then it looks like that. You know, you got all these different things, and if you write with a pencil, mechanical pencil, you got the paintbrush that you can write with, and you can obviously change the thicknesses of things. And the lighter I touch, the lighter it is. So for example, I'm lightly going like this, so it's kind of lightly doing it, but if I press harder, see that? Now it's doing that because I'm pressing the pen harder. So you have that in it as well. So there's a lot of different options on there. You can change from gray, black, and white. You have the eraser here. Again, there is a pencil that has a eraser on the top, but mine doesn't. So I can just erase whatever I need to erase just like that if I want to, kind of thing, blah, blah, blah. There's also an undo button that you can do here, so to undo things that I just did. And then here at the bottom, if you click on that, it brings up all the current pages of all your quick notes if I want to do that. So those are all my quick notes kind of brought up. And then I also have the option of tags, so you can tag things, so then you can easily search for these tags, so you can find your notebooks easily organized. So if I were to create a tag that says, like, Carlos or YouTube, and then I search for YouTube, all the notes that are tagged with YouTube would obviously come up. So that's really cool. You have different layers that you can add onto here if you want to, if you start doing drawing and stuff like that, which is great. You can send things by email. You could actually convert handwriting right to text. For example, if I was to write something like that, I can click on this option here at the bottom and then convert notes to text, and it converts that handwriting right into text there for you, so you can send it in like an email or something. You can see Carlos is here, got converted, and then you can kind of click on this and send it by email if you want to, or you can even present it and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. This is where you can search. If you search for tags and stuff like that, you can even turn this to landscape mode if you want to write this way instead, and landscape or draw and stuff like that, which is really cool. So a bunch of different features on here. It does have cloud sync as well. You can sync it, which is really cool. So you can see it just sync there, so it has the integration with that. The cloud sync on here is either, I forget the exact amount of days, but I think it's 50 days for free if you have to actually open up the note. In other words, if you have a note that's syncing and you don't open this notebook for 50 days, then it's going to stop syncing. But every time you open the notebook, it will sync on the free plan. If you want to for it to always be synced no matter what, whether it's opened or not, blah blah blah, then you need to pay the $2.99 subscription fee that it syncs all your notes and stuff like that, which I think is a fair price considering. It does come with a year for free most of the time, which is what I have here. I have a year for free on this to sync all my notes, which is what I'm using. But it's really, really cool that it syncs all your notes, so you don't have to worry about losing any of that stuff, obviously, as well. One of the other things I really like on here is to read. I really like reading books on here because look at how clear and awesome that text looks. I mean, this isn't that dissimilar to having a Kindle and stuff like that. If you guys have used that, it kind of looks similar to what a Kindle would look like, but just on a nice large display, and it feels like I'm reading a book. It's the same thing like a Kindle feels like, but now I actually have the writing capabilities that feel like I'm actually writing on a piece of paper, on top of the fact that I can carry books. Now, of course, there's no integration with the Amazon bookstore or anything like that, so it does support PDFs or EPUB file books that you'll have to get on your own and upload them on here. But when you do, like I do here, I'm reading Ready Player One, it is on here and it does work extremely well. And you could actually access all your notes that you have on here on your computer. They have a desktop app that you can use as well, so you don't have to worry about not being able to access your notes. Same thing with an iPhone app or an Android. They have an Android and an iPhone app that you can access all your notes as well. So even if you don't have this and carrying it around, you can still access your notes no matter where you are. So that's really, really good that you can access your notes anywhere you go, whether it's on a desktop or iPhone or Android. Other than that, guys, that's basically a basic overview of the actual Remarkable tablet. Let's go ahead and give you my final thoughts. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that video on the Remarkable 2. Again, this thing really caught me by surprise on how much I ended up liking it. Like, writing on with an Apple Pencil on an iPad is fine. It works really well. A lot of people use it. And if you don't know any better, then you're going to like it, because that's exactly where I was at. But now using the Remarkable 2 for writing, I really don't want to ever write on my iPad ever again, because the writing experience is so much better on the Remarkable 2. And the tablet, or the unit, is actually really, really thin, so it's really easy to carry around, put it in my book bag. And it's basically my digital notebook. Now I use it for everything. I use it for work when I want to take down notes. I use it for, YouTube when I plan my weekly schedule on what videos I'm making for you guys, or video ideas that I have for the future. And it's all backed up to the cloud like we talked about. So it makes things really, really simple. And I really, really, and I'm liking it a lot more than I ever thought I would. I thought I was going to like it and just say, hey, yeah, it feels like writing on paper, but I'm still going back to my iPad, and that's not the case here. The writing experience is top notch, and it really feels like you're writing on a piece of paper, like you're writing on a notebook in front of you, and the text is super clear. I love the way it looks and all of that stuff. And even though the device is simple in nature, where it's essentially a device you can use for reading PDFs or EPUB file books and stuff like that, or writing, I use it for everything now. Same thing like for doing our budgets and stuff. I use it for all of it. So digital life planner, all of it is there. So guys, if you guys have any questions about what you guys have seen here today, as always, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.